Skip this intro. Summer's here. Time to bring on the blockbusters. So the first movie is Jurassic Park Rebirth. What's better than dinosaurs killing people? But before you get too excited, is this distracting to you? Is something else grabbing your attention that shouldn't be? Well, that's a big problem in Jurassic Park because it has product placement at almost every turn and it is distracting. By the time this movie is done, if you're not craving Altoids, Snickers, or Dr. Pepper, then their product placement didn't work on you because it's all over it. In fact, there is a break for Altoids while they're in a field full of dinosaurs. Like, that's not the main thing. There's a giant 100-foot dinosaur. In fact, there's a scene where two giant 100-foot dinosaurs are kind of like making out, which is very weird for a Jurassic Park movie. But they stop for Altoids, and it's like, why? You should be distracting me with dinosaurs. And if not dinosaurs, your movie has Scarlett Johansson in it. Feel free to distract me with her in low-cut tops, which they don't do in this movie. Big fail. Why should Colin Jost have all the fun? Let me see a little what he sees. Come on. But back to the movie itself. Yes, it has giant dinosaurs, and in fact, they're the focus. Scarlett Johansson, for whatever reason, has to go capture blood from these giant dinosaurs because somehow that cures cancer. It sounds like somebody in high school wrote that plot, but that is the plot of the movie. There is a redeeming part to the story, though. There's this family that gets shipwrecked, again, caused by dinosaurs while they're out cruising on the ocean, and they get washed up on the same island with Scarlett Johansson and crew. So their angle is actually the more interesting part of this movie. They could have cut out the Scarlett Johansson part completely, and you wouldn't have noticed. It would have been more interesting if it's a shipwrecked family, well, the dad with his daughter and this douchey boyfriend that he doesn't want to be around. Them getting stranded on the island and them trying to figure a way off, that's the story in itself. You could have cut 45 minutes out of this movie. So yes, it has your dinosaurs. Yes, it has some action to it. Some of it's pretty good, but in the end, there's not really a reason for you to go out and see this movie. You can just wait to come see it at home. The movie just kind of sucks. It's not that it's super bad, it's just that we've seen this before, and we've seen this before from Jurassic Park. So they really need to go back to the drawing board and figure out what's something we've never seen with dinosaurs before, because they've showed us enough for now. We got another big summertime movie review for you. Superman, this time by James Gunn. I really like how in this version of Superman, they've gone with the Spider-Man approach. Remember in the last Spider-Man movie, I don't know if you've seen it, they skip all the origin stuff. There's some text on screen at the beginning that sets up the situation of the movie, that sets up that like superheroes are a known thing in this universe. So there's no need if everybody knows where Superman's from. He's from Krypton. Everybody knows he can fly. Everybody knows he's super strong. You know the basics of Superman. So they assume this in the beginning, and it's a big, quick shorthand to just get right into the action. It starts off with Superman getting his ass handed to him almost immediately. And then it introduces, really quickly, the real star of the show, which is Krypto the Superdog. I thought it was a great idea to bring Krypto finally into a Superman movie, and he's fantastic. Anytime he's on screen, he steals the show. Now to the serious part of Superman. The conflict in this movie. It's not just Lex Luthor. Superman has intervened in a war between two nations. I think one's called Baravia and one's called something like Jamunpur, something like that. To me, it's very clear that this nation is Israel. And that's about where I'm going to leave the controversy on that. I'm not going to make any comments on that. But imagine if in real life, Israel is fighting with Palestine. And then all of a sudden, Superman, without asking any permission, well, does Superman need to ask permission? I mean, we kind of assume Superman, America, USA, red, white, and blue. And all of a sudden, boom, he steps in and says, I'm not letting this happen. These tanks, taking them out. You know, he's not going around killing people or anything. He's trying to stop killing people. Superman has a strict moral code, as he should. He's Superman. Superman is like the ultimate Boy Scout. He's trying to do what's right. And there's a good scene in this movie, too, where Lois gets to sit down and interview Superman. And he really lets his feelings fly for a good 10 minutes. It's going to make the movie controversial for some people, but I think it makes it interesting. I mean, I was shocked a little bit that a big name property in a movie that probably cost hundreds of millions to make. I mean, some people call it brave, some people call it controversial. But yeah, you're right. It's a big risk to take on something like Superman. Politics aside, is it entertaining? Yes. I love not just that Krypto's in it. There's Hawkgirl. There's Guy Gardner, who's the second, not the second. He's a Green Lantern, and he's played by Nathan Fillion, and he's pretty entertaining in this. I would watch movies on just those guys alone. And I like how they showed them just kind of hanging out at the Hall of Justice. It's this great big giant hall, and they seem to have nothing to do in between fighting giant monsters. And in the movie, they kind of they clearly haven't decided on a name as what they are, because they've just formed. They call themselves the Justice Gang, but nobody really likes that in the movie. Like, everyone's just like, I don't know about that name. That's not going to fly. And other characters. Oh, Jimmy Olsen is in it. And I like this take on Jimmy Olsen because Jimmy Olsen is a bit of a player in this movie. He's got Lex Luthor's girlfriend on a string, and he's just trying to find out the inside scoop, he's a reporter. He's trying to get the dirt. I just realized I forgot to mention one other character, Mr. Terrific. I think he's actually really good in this movie. You might remember the actor. He was in this X-Men movie, X-Men First Class, where he played this character named Darwin who got killed off really quick. I'm glad he got a chance to do another superhero movie as Mr. Terrific. Mr. Terrific is kind of like the Mr. Fantastic of the DC world, hence the really similar name. So he's like the smartest man in the world. He's got all this technology. I thought it was pretty neat, not only to include a character like that, but to give him more to do than to just randomly show up and fight. He's actually pretty clever. He's one of the few people in the movie who sympathize with Superman when you're going to see how shit goes wrong for Superman real quick in this movie. Now, where does the new Superman rank in the pantheon of other Superman movies? He's good, but I don't know. Maybe I need time to grow on this guy. I'm still used to Henry Cavill being Superman, but Henry Cavill always seemed to bring a darker note to Superman, and I just don't think Superman should be a dark character. You can leave that to Batman for all I care. But I love Batman, and Batman is always going to be a dark character. Anybody whose parents are murdered in front of him is going to turn out dark. This Superman is definitely softer and kinder. That's the direction they chose to go with this. So either you're going to like that or you're not going to like that. But it's definitely a new take on Superman. It's a new take on Lois. Overall, I think it's an improvement on Superman, the past Superman movies. So say what you will about James Gunn, I'm actually looking forward to see where he's going to go with this. Is he going to make Justice League movies? Is he going to do another Superman movie? It's entertaining. It's got a lot of action, even though some parts of the action are kind of there's this part with a cube river in an alternate dimension. It gets a little far out there. But at least they're taking a big swing. That's one thing you can't argue against the Superman. They take a big swing in a totally new direction, and they're hoping it sticks. I think it does. I want to see more of it, and I think you should go out there and see Superman. I got a doozy of a throwback movie this time. I had to reach way back into the black hole that is my closet of discarded DVDs. And what did I find? Skyscraper, starring Anna Nicole Smith from 1995. Pete Cotton is for her. This is just as the drugs are kicking in, so she's still got a glimmer of hope in her life, but not for long after you see this movie. I'll give the movie its credit where it's due. It has an opening scene that takes place in an alleyway that is, there's some dirty deal going down with secret government agents, and what better place to do it than during the daylight in an LA alley, I guess for some reason. They have a suitcase that controls a satellite or whatever, blah, blah, blah. This stuff's not important. But it launches into a pretty good action scene for a movie that obviously had no budget. They spent all their money in the action scenes of this movie on rocket launchers. You could have a drinking game. Take a shot every time somebody uses a rocket launcher in this movie because somebody had access to one and they used the shit out of it. And I'm glad they did, because there's trucks blowing up. There's a guy who gets shot with a rocket launcher and bursts into flames, and he's running all around like this, all while his cop buddy, his partner, is like, "No, Jimmy!" in great slow motion. It's entertaining. I'd bet dollars to donuts that rocket launcher they use so much in this movie, that's his. That's a personal thing. That is something he had in his garage or used, and he was like, You know what's going to give us some value in this movie? Just rocket launcher after rocket launcher. Keep using it. But he did have some smarts. He knew at least to get a hot chick in the movie. He got Anna Nicole Smith, who at this point in time, you know, she's not a great actress, obviously. She's doing a lot of her lines through a haze of Oxycontin, which is clear because she just has this slow, maybe I'm on the spectrum kind of voice. But she's got great cans, and that's what you're here to. And the good thing is they waste no time. 13 minutes into this movie, there's a great shower scene, and it's like nobody gave her, I guess, Raymond Martino, maybe he's not the greatest director. He knew how to get the cans on screen, but he didn't know what to do once he had them, because she takes like a very awkward shower scene. She takes a shower in the way that like a 15-year-old boy would imagine a Guess Jeans model would. So it's entertaining. And the good news for you is that it's on Tubi. And Tubi is completely free. So you can go right now. You can fast forward to the action scene. You could fast forward to the shower scene. Because a lot of the movie is just a Die Hard ripoff. Like, it's very clear. There's a lot of things that are similar to Die Hard. You remember when Bruce Willis ties the fire hose around him and he jumps off the building? Well, she does kind of like her own version of this, which clearly they couldn't throw her off the side of a building. Maybe they could have with the drugs that they're doing. But they got her to do a similar scene, and it kind of gets there. It kind of gets the job done. A lot of the movie you're going to want to fast forward through. There's a lot of helicopter flying, and they reuse the scenes a lot. So go to the beginning, and then, you know, as I was watching the movie, it was about 50 minutes into the movie. I only know because I was bored enough to check, like, how much of this movie is left. And just as you're getting bored with that, bam, they throw in another nude scene. This guy knew somebody had a clock out, had them watch a test of the movie, be like, could you tell me when you get bored with this movie? And then right as they get bored with the movie, they have a nude scene. But what's weird is it's a nude scene flashback. She's in the middle of this, it's a Die Hard ripoff. She's running around the building trying to escape people who are trying to kill her. And she has a flashback to when she bangs some dude on a farm. So I'm not by any means saying go out and run out to see this movie. But if you're the kind of person who has Tubi, or you watch, say you don't have all the fancy streaming services and you just want to watch something that's free, you want to throw something in the background, and you just want a little this, you want to remember the good times from when Anna looked hot, it's worth half watching. It's worth looking at the action scenes. There's some bad acting in it, sure, but it was a bunch of people trying really hard, so at least you can give them that. If this was the kind of movie when you were 15 years old that you would sought out, yeah, maybe then it's for you. So blah, 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 Red Hood Reviews, blah, 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 Quiet Corner TV. Subscribe. Don't swipe past me, please.